because we took two of the pots from here into the other showroom, we came back and we were left with a large gap at the back of these tables. So it gives us, again, the opportunity to tighten up everything and make it look terrific. We had this one just sort of stranded. And yesterday we electrified this light and put this off center so the light comes right down on top and makes it really quite an astounding piece as you enter. You see these around everywhere. They're shrines to Ganesh. There are statues and sculptures of Ganesh. This one I like particularly because of the colors. India is a great color place, and things would be painted over at various times during their career, so that you get these wonderful, the pinks with the reds, with the oranges, with the blue. This is the new variety, made of marble today. You put a little votive light here, and they're little baby shrines. The ones in the back are antique ones, made of sandstone. The difference is quite staggering. This stone is a yellow sandstone, and for people who know India, yellow sandstone comes from the desert Rajasthani city of Jaisalmer, which is made entirely of this stone, which occurs in the desert. And the city of Jodhpur, which is also a Rajasthani city, has a whole section where all of the houses are painted blue every couple of years. So when you look at them from the fort above, you see this sea of blue stone. It's absolutely riveting. And then when it starts to fade, you get this beautiful image of the original underneath and then the added color on the top. It's quite terrific. The places I go to, in general, are like junk shops. So I look real quickly, I zero in on something, I imagine it in many places here, and then I buy it. So I don't get any instruction there. I get offered things, but no instruction. So that part of it is all me. This whole aesthetic is extremely unusual, and I don't think you'll find it between the interior and the exterior spaces. I haven't seen it anywhere in the world. I went to Hamilton College in upstate New York and spent my junior year in France. After that, went on in the Peace Corps to live in North Africa for a couple of years in a country called Tunisia. And Tunisia was a special inspiration for me because I started thinking of architecture as something more interesting than ugly houses and ugly buildings. And I lived in the Medina, the Arab section of the city, the interior section that was enclosed by walls that were 15 feet thick and hundreds of years old. And so developed a passion for those kind of rectilinear spaces that were stacked. And at the top you'd always have a wonderful terrace. From there I went on. I lived in Saudi Arabia for a year. That was a marvelous experience. Certainly the country that seduces me the most is Sri Lanka. Millions of coconut trees arching over the Indian Ocean. A very simple white stucco architecture with old red tile roofs. It's an absolutely entrancing place. When this thing broke, the big plumeria broke. Yeah. Okay, now at that time we had a lot of leaves on it and you couldn't really see anything. But now the leaves are falling down, and so this thing is looking unnatural. And it needs to be reset. So what I'd like you to do is take all this off, and I'd like to pull it forward again so that it looks good. I think we need a stick in the back. We have to restrain the plant sometimes because the sun pulls them that way. My gardener strapped these back and connected them from the mid part of the trunk to the back, to the box. So now they're vertical, which is how we want them. We don't leave anything to a casual solution here. I was born in Honolulu. My mother and grandmother both were born on the island of Kauai. So I come from a long line of that kind of unnatural tropical heritage. My grandmother was a fabulous gardener and had terrific style. And my mom was just plain terrific. We grow a lot of figs here, and we have a huge harvest of figs in the summer, and people come here just to have their hit of figs. These are brown mission figs, which are delicious, big, fat, juicy figs. Then when you go around the corner here, you come upon this beautiful piece of grass with the palms in it. I remember spending 3 days out here with one of my employees trying to figure out how to make the best rectilinear plot inside a space that was not rectilinear, because the street and the fence recede as you come east. Then I found these palms up in some nursery in the desert, and we put them in. They were tiny little things, no trunk at all, just 2 or 3 leaves waving in the breeze. And look at them now. I find these to be magical plants. So beautiful. They get enormously tall. They get as tall as that sort of raggedy palm up there. I don't know what they're going to look like when they're 40 feet tall. I, of course, won't be here to see, but I'm planting it for the benefit of someone who perhaps is. It blooms all year round, and even though this one is burned for some reason, this has the same distinctive fragrance that the grandiflora magnolia has. So we have a lot of them over there. We have some over here. We have some citrus. We have camellias. These are the components of this garden. So they're full of buds now, and they'll be opening soon. This one's been open for several days, so it's quite fragile. They're quite stiff when they open, and they're double. It's a great look. It's a beautiful floral look. And you can see all the buds. These will bloom through March probably. Camellias are my very favorite.